Hey guys, this is Claude. I'm back with another video and also another deck for Vault Boy 81. Yesterday's deck was pretty interesting. I suggest you go watch that video. Maybe I'll put a link right up here. If you want to see it, crazy book IEQ shenanigans. Great ways to kind of help control the board so you can get to that point. Just an all-around good-looking deck. Alright, let's see what we have today. Red Archon. Starlight. Oh gosh, Starlights again. Dis. And Shadows. It's Lowbringer Nebula, the Unruly and Futile. Kind of looks like a nuke or some sort of bomb with the spikes coming out. We've seen that before. I'm sure the inside's a little bit different. Alright, let's see what's inside this thing. And I just noticed the other day, we are approaching 1,200 subscribers. How insane is that? If you haven't subscribed yet, help us get to 1,200. Alright, we'll drop that down, and we're starting off with Starlights. It's Plasma Nozzle. It's an upgrade, and whenever you play it, this creature gains before the fight, deal 2 damage to the attacked creature with a 2 damage splash. Very nice. Xeno Training, Amber whenever you play it. For each house represented among friendly creatures, a friendly creature captures an Amber. That's a big Amber control card. Ooh, Transporter Platform. Let's see some more upgrades that give us the Amber. It's an artifact, Amber whenever you play it. Action, return a friendly creature and each upgrade attached to it to your hand. Quadricorder, it's an upgrade, but it doesn't have an Amber. Your opponent's keys cost +1 Amber for each house represented among friendly creatures to a maximum of 3. Stealth Mode, Amber whenever you play it, your opponent cannot play action cards during the next turn. A second Stealth Mode, that's a good card. Medic Engram, 3 power, play, fight, reap. You may heal 3 damage from a creature and ward it, so good. First, Officer Fran, 4 power, play, fight, reap. A friendly creature captures an Amber. Explo Rover. Yesterday's deck did have 4 of these. I hope we don't see 4 in this one. It's 3 power. Skirmish may be played as an upgrade instead of a creature and gives the creature Skirmish. A second Explo Rover. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Let's tap it and get rid of it, right? No more Explo Rovers. It's Chief Engineer Walls. 2 power elusive. Play, fight, reap. You may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. Quite a bit of upgrades in here, so that's pretty nice to see. Arms Master Molina, 4 power, Hazardous 3. Each of our Master Molina's neighbors gains Hazardous 3. It's a good little protector. Now we're on to Shadows. It's Whisper, 3 power, elusive. Action, lose an Amber. If you do, destroy a creature. Subtle Maul. It's an artifact. Action, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Such a good card, especially if we have some good creatures inside the Shadows. It'll allow us to constantly be able to use those creatures and keep our opponent down 1 card every time we call Shadows. Oh, oh, okay, I take that back. Take them down 2 every single time. That's 2 Subtle Mauls. Fidget, 2 power elusive. Reap, discard a random card from your opponent's archives or the top card of their deck. If that card is an action card, play it as if it were yours. That's one of those cards you want to see on the board for a Subtle Maul. Come on, give us actually a big board Shadows. I don't ask for that often, but give us like Yancey Gangs and things that can steal as well. Oh, it's not Yancey Gang, but it's Umbra, 2 power Skirmish, fight, steal an Amber. Trust no one. Steal 1 Amber if there are no friendly creatures in play. Instead, steal 1 Amber for each house represented among enemy creatures to a maximum of 3. Simon, 1 power Skirmish. Fight. Put the creature Simon fights on the top of its owner's deck. Mug, Amber whenever you play it. Move 1 Amber from a creature to your pool. Deal 2 damage to that creature. J Vinda, 2 power elusive. Reap. Deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, steal 1. Now, this is a good card, but I kind of almost would have rather seen A Vinda just so we had another way to make our opponent discard cards from the hand. That would have been awesome with the Subtle Maul. Inky Gloom. Your opponent cannot use creatures to reap on their next turn. Hawk. 1 Amber whenever you play it. Destroy an artifact. If you do, you gain an Amber. Oh, there's a Vinda. That is really cool to think about. You also had some ways to do damage, like the Mug to get a 3 power creature down to 1, then use the Vinda. That could be 3 cards you take out of your opponent's hand if you have both a Vinda and the 2 Subtle Mauls. And you also have another cool way to kind of chip them down as well, like the Umbra here has Skirmish, so you can take something at 3 health as well and put it down to 1. That's pretty awesome. Now we're on to Dis. It's Dexus, 5 power. After your opponent plays a creature on their right flank, they lose an Amber. Pretty interesting effect. It's easy for your opponent to try and get past it. Poltergeist. Oh, second artifact control in this deck. Amber whenever you play it, use an artifact controlled by any player as if it were yours. Then destroy that artifact. Bornet's Touch. Amber whenever you play it, reveal the top 5 cards of a player's deck. Purge a card revealed this way. Shuffle the other revealed cards into that deck. Blood Shard Imp, 2 power. After a creature reaps, its controller must sacrifice it. The Evil Eye. Amber whenever you play it, keys cost +3 Amber during your opponent's next turn. Rot Grub, 1 power play. Your opponent loses 1 Amber. Reap, archive it. Misery Exploit seems to be a common card we've seen in Dis lately. Gain 1 Amber for each damaged enemy creature. Lithal, 5 power, fight, reap, capture an Amber. Harbinger of Doom, 2 power, 3 armor, destroy. Destroy each creature. I like seeing at least one card in a deck that could wipe the board. Exhume, amber every play it. Choose a creature in your discard pile. You may play that creature as if it belonged to the active house and was in your hand. Draining Touch, destroy a creature with no amber on it. And the final card of the deck is Dendrix, 5 power, fight. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Alright, let's see what we got in this thing. Felt like there was a decent amount of amber control I know we had across all the houses. Let's get our amber up for now. Okay, and also, man, the 2 artifact control in here is very nice. Let's see, stealing is good. Not too much amber inside of shadows. And I know we had here platform, Xeno training. Okay, nozzle. Let's count it up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 is okay. Not too bad. Let's get our amber control up, where we could have had a number pretty close to that. These guys are almost amber control because it stops your opponent from playing actions and getting that amber. We'll put them up and maybe count both of those as 1. Lithal. Not A Venda, but J Venda. There we go. Umbra. Let's see. Fran. And Quadricorder. Alright, let's see how many amber control we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty good. Okay. Said I knew it would be pretty close to the amber count. Let's bring up the creatures now. Just see how many we had. Felt like there was a decent spread across all the houses. Zoom will count as 1. All right, 1, 5, 10, 15, 19. Okay, not too bad. Of course, after seeing yesterday's deck, this one seems slightly underwhelming. I mean, it's powerful, but it's not at the same level as the other one. This one will play a lot like some other decks. Has more of a common strategy. But that doesn't mean there isn't some combos, especially like if you can get some shadows out. Let's actually pull up every single shadows creature. Let's see. They're obviously a little bit lower, but if we can control the board, get ourselves to where we can get those subtle mauls going, that's pretty nice. Just pull those up as well. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures total in shadows. It's not really going to be able to control the board. I mean, sure, Simon could do it. The A Venda and J Venda could kind of keep the board low. Same with the Umbra. But I don't really like the odds of that lasting for several turns. So we probably won't be able to abuse the subtle mauls as much as I'd like to. Even still, it's not too bad whenever we do call shadows. If we want to use these creatures, or we have a steal like that Trust No One we want to play, to take 2 cards out of our opponent's hand, that's pretty strong. See, the Star Alliance, I don't think there was anything super overpowered in here. I mean, it did have the amber control, which is nice, through the Xeno trading and the Quadricorder. No real big way to abuse the transporter platform. I believe there was only 1 upgrade that had amber on it. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use it to keep replaying a creature and getting the amber. But we can use the transporter platform to do something like this with Medic Engram. Play Medic Engram, you could heal a creature and then ward it. Transporter platform Medic Engram back into your hand. Replay it to ward Medic Engram so it's more likely to survive for the future. That's pretty nice. I do like the platform for doing little tricks like that. Sometimes if you need an extra amber control, you can do that with the Officer Fran as well. It's also a good way to reset these Explo Rovers if you had on maybe another creature and you want to put on something else. I don't think we had any other real good play effects in other houses, but let me check the disc. I don't recall any. Okay, I mean, Rot Grub returning it, you can kind of do that just whenever you reap with it anyway, put it into your archives. So Transporter Platform is pretty much going to have to target the Star Alliance cards in here. If you guys have Transporter Platform in one of your decks, I highly suggest not just looking at your Star Alliance cards, look at these other cards you might be able to return. Things like Mustic Mermook, where you can bounce it, it has a great play effect, killing off a creature. Things like Infernus, there's just a whole bunch of great targets with play effects. And Transporter Platform, even if it is reclogging your hand, it's okay because that card is really powerful. Right, a lot of the play effects in this set are really good attached to these creatures. The board control itself in this deck is a little bit less. I mean, we do have the Harbinger, and if we actually need a second board wipe, you can exhume it back into play, which is okay. And then you have things like the Draining Touch, the Mug. It's a little smaller ways to help control their board. Nothing too great. Inky Gloom also should have been up with the Amber control cards now that I see it again. Misery Exploit might not be too bad because most of these creatures are smaller. So if your opponent has like a Saurian deck and they're constantly having to ping off your creatures, they're going to be spreading a lot of damage around. Therefore, this Misery Exploit may be able to get you 2 or 3 Amber. That probably could have went up with the Amber in this deck, bumping it up to 13. Really, this is just an all-around solid deck. I mean, you got the artifact control, you got the board wipes, you got creatures your opponents have to deal with, you got some tricks in here. It's kind of just a better than average deck is what this is. Nothing completely overpowered, but just a nice solid performer. This is something you want to take to like a Chainbound. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.